South Carolina reached its peak under Steve Spurrier when the program had 3 11-win seasons. Now, under Shane Beamer, the Gamecocks appear to be on the brink of reaching that level again. And last season showed just how close the Gamecocks were to something special. If they hadn't let one of those tight losses to Alabama or LSU slip away, they likely would have landed a spot in the college football playoff. And then when they had a chance to close strong in 2024 with a potential 10-win season in reach, they ran into Illinois in the Citrus Bowl, and they ended up going 9-4. It was still a really strong 9-4 finish, one of the best seasons in the program's history, but they just had too many turnovers and too many negative plays that held them back throughout the season. Last year might have been their moment to strike. They didn't have to face Georgia, Texas, or Tennessee, and it had key games against Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Missouri at home. They kind of let the opportunity slip away last year. This season, the Gamecocks once again avoid Georgia, Texas, and Tennessee. Beamer has a dynamic quarterback in Lenora Sellers. They made big moves in the transfer portal, and now is the time they have to capitalize. Everything is in place for South Carolina in 2025. Having an elite quarterback will always give you a shot in college football. In South Carolina, they have one. Lenora Sellers might be one of the best quarterbacks in the entire country. After some early turnover issues last season, he settled in and threw for over 2,500 yards, completing nearly 66% of his passes with 18 touchdowns. He's also a major dual-threat quarterback. He had 674 rushing yards and 7 rushing TDs last year. South Carolina finally found consistency in its run game last season, thanks to the combo of Sellers and Rocket Sanders, who helped the team average over 180 rushing yards per game. But with Sanders now gone, they have to rely on Utah State transfer Rashul Faison and returning back Oscar Adaway III. They are expected to take on the bulk of the carries this year. Faison is a fast, versatile back who can contribute in the passing game. He wasn't the main ball carrier at Utah State, but he still racked up over 1,100 yards and 8 touchdowns last season. He averaged 5.6 yards per carry. He's not a bruiser, but he can consistently pick up the positive yardage that the Gamecocks need. At receiver, the Gamecocks have a deep group of young talent, which will be crucial as they look to replace tight end Josh Simon, who led the team in receptions, yards, and touchdown catches last season. The defense did its job last season, and they're going to have to do the same thing this year. They allowed 27 points or fewer in every game but 2 last year. They were great against the run, and they lived in opposing backfields. The defensive line is going to look far different this year, especially on the inside. Pass rusher Kyle Kennard is gone, but Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas are back. The inside is mostly going to be from the portal. Gabriel Brownlow Dindy from Texas A&M and JUCO transfer Xavion Hardy will be their interior pass rushers. There's enough talent to find 2 linebackers in for their 4-2-5 rotation. At safety, Jalen Kigor is back after making 48 tackles and picking off 5 passes. He has all SEC talent, and he's not alone. DQ Smith and Peyton Williams are both experienced safeties who'll be back there with him. Judge Collier is back after breaking up 8 passes at one corner spot, and they have an NC State transfer that's going to be on the other side. The key for South Carolina in 2025 is to stop turning the ball over. Did you know they turned it over 4 times with 3 lost fumbles in the 27-25 loss to Alabama? And then when they lost to LSU, they had 13 penalties and 3 turnovers and 2 fumbles in that game. They were 7-0 when they didn't turn it over multiple times. If they want to make the college football playoff, they're going to have to go 10-2. 9-3 might work depending on who your losses are to, but let's break this down. There's no Georgia, Tennessee, or Texas on the slate. So they're going to have to get through Missouri, LSU, Ole Miss, and Texas A&M without at least 2 losses. There's also an improved Oklahoma team, a decent Kentucky team, Clemson, and, Alabama. Looking at the schedule, they have 3 games that they're most likely going to win and 2 games that they'll most likely lose. All the other games are 50-50 games. They're going to have to pull off something spectacular if they want to make the college football playoff this season. And I think they can do it, especially with Lenora Sellers. But let me know what you guys think. Do you think that these guys will actually be able to get to 9 or 10 wins this season? Let me know. Thank you guys so much for watching.